On March 14th through the 17th, I'm going to be in Sedona, Arizona, teaching at the Sedona Yoga Festival, and I'm really excited to do it. I'll have a table there, I'll have my books there, some students will be there talking about astrology and yoga. I'm going to be teaching a workshop as well, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the astrology of that weekend because it's pretty cool. We're going to have the Sun moving from Aquarius into Pisces on the 14th, and Mercury going retrograde from Pisces into Aquarius. So the Sun and Mercury are going to cross, exact conjunction, right at the juncture between Aquarius and Pisces. So what does that mean? Well, when you see this kind of sort of transition between two different signs, it's a real opportunity to move between these two life lessons. Now, the lesson of Aquarius is about community, global community, and causes that we share, mutual benefit for all of us, for the world, for the globe, for us as individuals, for us in the collective. And of course, that's what these festivals do. They bring us together around common themes. Sometimes we come together as like a business conference or marketing conference or other things. This is a conference related to yoga, consciousness, higher awareness, which also really shows because we have the Sun going from Aquarius, again, which is about culture, community, into Pisces, which is about something even higher than culture, community, and this world of people. Pisces is what's next, what's beyond. And of course, what's beyond is that metaphysical realm. We live in the physical realm, and then Pisces is literally the sign of the metaphysical, or, you know, what we might call spiritual, but that's often an overused phrase, and one that's not so specific. It's literally the metaphysics, that which is not of this earth. So we literally are in this world, but we're also not of this world. And so how the themes of Aquarius, again, which have to do with our shared collective destiny and world, and those higher causes and teachings and values that we share collectively, how that leads to something even beyond the earth is a big theme when Aquarius transitions into Pisces. Because again, at some point, no matter how much community and joy and we're all together and we're happy and yay, at some point we have to let all that go as well. And it's very important to understand, because especially a lot of, as I say, so-called spiritual people, there's a kind of shadow game that we play with the ego and with our awareness and with other people that doesn't want to leave this world. We have this idea that Moksha, or liberation, which is what Pisces is about, it's literally Moksha, and letting go of the world, feels like loss and feels like death. You know, there's a saying, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. It's a very interesting statement. And this is what can happen with spiritual people, is we can get so enthralled by the positive emotions of being together and changing the world, and we're so, you know, exalted in that way, which is the Aquarius vibe, that the notion of, okay, now I've satisfied my karma with the world, now I want to surrender into that which is beyond the world. I'm not this individual, I'm not this individual merged with a collective and other people and causes in this world. I'm actually that which is beyond. That's the Pisces lesson. And so this transition from the collective experience to the metaphysical, universal, beyond experience is a lot of what will be potent seeds of that weekend of March 14th through the 17th. And again, it's going to start with Mercury in Pisces going retrograde back, because Mercury will have been in Pisces where our mind and intellect and ideas are in that sort of metaphysical realm. And then it goes back into Aquarius, which is the collective identity that I just talked about. So Mercury goes from Pisces back into Aquarius, and the Sun goes from Aquarius into Pisces, and they cross right at that point, literally at 0 Pisces. And so this is, again, a place where Mercury, even though it's retrograde, and everyone has this, oh, Mercury's retrograde, oh no, what am I going to do? When Mercury is retrograde and combust, or very close to the Sun, like it is here, it's as close, as close to the Earth. When it's retrograde and combust, or very close to the Earth, it's in some ways as powerful as it can be, because it's close to the Earth. So Mercury will be as close to the Earth at that time than it ever is. And so, again, and it'll happen right at that juncture between the collective awareness and consciousness of Aquarius and the metaphysical letting go universality consciousness of Pisces. During that weekend, we have that shift that happens actually on the 14th, on the first day of the conference. Then, for the last 3 days of the conference, the Sun is in Pisces and Mercury is in Aquarius. So our mind and our ideas and our speech and communication will be in that collective realm of Aquarius, serving each other, communicating, sharing. But the Sun, which is the Supreme Self, the Atman, the Paramatman, will now be in Pisces, which is surrendering into that luminous essence of self that's beyond the world. So it can be a great time to awaken and to dance between those two worlds. And you know, when planets change signs, it's like the veil is thin. You know, like the veil between worlds gets very thin. And when that happens, we fill the gaps with our consciousness. And so there will be a lot of that happening. In addition to that, the moon will be going from Gemini into Cancer. So it starts in Gemini, which is about speech, communication, fun, enjoyment, intelligence, discrimination, playfulness. And then later in the weekend goes into Cancer, which is the sign of the mother, the divine mother. It's where these ideas and this communication needs to be anchored in the heart and needs to connect to the heart. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of disconnected ideas. So the first couple days of the conference, the moon is in Gemini, where there'll be a lot of enjoyment and stimulation and fun. And then, I believe it's Saturday, the moon goes into, late Friday or early Saturday, the moon goes into Cancer, which is more about that embedded feeling in the heart. It's also joined the north node of Rahu, which expands things and sort of blows open the heart. So again, to be in a place of devotion and bhakti and divine love and sacred land like Sedona at a time when the moon is in Cancer, joined Rahu, the north node, again really opens up a portal of spiritual potential. And of course, Sedona is the land of portals of spiritual potential, you know, the vortexes and all of that. So not only will you be in the land of the vortexes and the beautiful red rocks, but the veil between worlds and that solid identity that your ego wraps around will be in a place of strength and stability, as well as flux, where you can really feel that transition from yourself as a citizen of the world and wanting to be of service to each other and to, you know, and to be an agency to one another, to your individual identity merging into the cosmic identity. And the mind and heart will be in a place of fun and openness to new experiences and people, but also grounded in that space of devotion. And whenever it gets near the nodes, because those are the eclipse points, it's even more potent because the eclipses are actually the things not of this earth as well. So the fact that the moon crosses the north node later in the weekend in Cancer also really opens up enormous devotional potential for that weekend. So you want to come and hear my workshops when I'm there, because I'm going to be doing a workshop on yoga and Vedic astrology, those sister sciences, as well as talking about the astrology of 2019. I'm going to be talking about what to expect in 2019 for the rest of the year. We have some very powerful configurations coming, a couple more eclipses, some very interesting configurations with Saturn in the South Node and Jupiter and all of this. So it's going to be quite a year, and I'm going to be talking about 2019 and talking about the connections between yoga and Vedic astrology. I did write the book on yoga and Vedic astrology and how these two sciences merge and converge toward the same goal of our spiritual development, spiritual growth, higher consciousness. And I really look forward to being in Sedona and presenting on that subject and having my books and classes there. So I look forward to seeing everyone at the Sedona Yoga Festival, March 14th through the 17th.